More than a week after the Las Vegas shooting, we're still hearing stories of heartache, heroism, and hope. Sheri Sletten is from the San Diego area. Sheri, tell us what happened to you moments before that now famous photo was taken.
My friend and I had been at the concert for the 3 days, and right before that picture was taken, I had gone back inside. We had gotten separated. She went to safety, and I went back in. A girl had been shot right next to me in the calf. And I went back in to help and just kind of kept moving. There was off-duty police officers and Marines and everybody just lending a hand where they could. And afterwards, there was about 10 of us left. They got cleared by SWAT, and they moved us to a vacant parking lot across the street. And we talked for a little while. Everybody wanted to go back in and even bring the people out that weren't moving anymore. But they wouldn't let us. And in 1 second, I was fine. And the next second, I went into shock. My whole body started shaking. I couldn't stop it. And I think just the impact of everything hit me all at once. And that's when I sat down, and someone had asked me if I was okay, if I was injured. There was a bandana that I had taken from one of the injured, and it was covered in blood, and I put it on my arm, and I didn't realize that it was still there until after someone asked me. And at that point, I took it off and was holding it, and that's when that photo was shot.
Now, I understand someone actually died in your arms?
That's one of the people that I'm desperate to find at this point. The man with the bandana, he had shown up right behind me as I'd moved from one victim to the next, and he was laying on the ground. And I got down on my knees, and his face was right next to mine, and I had one hand on his face. And the man next to him, who I believe is his father, I don't remember how I found out that information, but he said, "I think I have my hand on his wound." And I grabbed the bandana to use it, for pressure, and I slid my hand under, and my finger went right up into the hole in his back. And with my other hand holding his face, I just said, "Can you feel that?" And he said, "Yeah, I can feel it." And I said, "That means you're alive." But then his eyes just kept rolling back. And 1 second he was looking at me, and the next he was limp. And we lifted him to put him on the cart. And I thought he was gone. But I haven't seen him in the faces of those that have passed. So I'm desperately trying to find out how he is.
Sure. You want to find out if he made it and if he's in the hospital or how he's doing. And,
Yeah.
there are others too, right?
Yeah, the girl that I had initially gone back in for, that was shot in the calf, I would never have turned and gone back in if it wasn't for her. And she was so grateful, and she just kept asking my name and asking for me to spell it. But everything was moving so fast. And before I knew it, she was on the cart and gone. And I would just really love to give her a hug.
Well, Sheri, how can they get a hold of you? I know you're searching for them because you want to connect with them, and I know there's healing in that connection. How can they get a hold of you?
My face is kind of everywhere right now. But I have an email address that I've posted on survivor pages that can be given out. Anyway, I'd called the hospitals, and the directors there are trying to help. I gave them my cell phone number and everything to give to any victims that have those wounds that I can connect with. I'm fielding tons of messages a day, but I just keep going through them, trying to find anybody. So if anyone has any information, I'm more than happy to talk to them.
Well, of course, we also have your contact information, and if anyone wants to contact us, we can pass it on to them if they want to discuss it with you, maybe someone that you had helped. And I understand that you returned to work this week. Now, Some people would say, gee, that was just too soon after this tragedy. Why did you return right away, and how has it gone for you?
Um, so I spent last week kind of trying to process everything. I'm blessed enough that, the people I work with, they covered my shifts last week without even second guessing it. I work for a veterinary clinic in Marietta Animal Hospital. And for about 3 days, I didn't get out of bed. I have 4 kids, and they came in and would spend time with me, and I just wanted to love on them and try to get through everything. As you can imagine, with the picture being out there, I had a ton of information to try to process and people to try to reach back out to and thank. And but because I felt myself kind of sinking into the gravity of everything, I needed to get back into a routine, to get back up and keep moving, if not just for myself, but for my family.
And what are you hoping will come out of this tragedy, not only for you and your family, but also the nation?
Um, I'm hoping it'll help unify people. It was the worst thing I've ever been through in my life, and it's the worst thing a lot of people have ever been through. But at the same time, I've never seen such unity from so many people. Everybody just kind of turned and reacted, and their gut reaction was to help those next to them, to stop and pick people up even while bullets are flying by them, to help in any way they can. Take cars, taxi drivers were stopping to load victims into their car. Everybody came out the next day to donate blood and waited hours and hours because they just felt this desperate need to help. And I don't feel like enough of that is getting out there. Everyone's focusing on the darkness, on how evil this man was. And it's the evil of one man, but there was goodness in thousands of others. God was there, and he was watching over and trying his best to protect as many as he could. And I've talked to people that turned away a long time ago from thinking about God, and just said, you know what? Now I'm back. Like, they could feel his presence in everybody that was there helping. And I think that there's just not enough of that in our nation right now being seen. Everyone's focusing on the divide, and not the good.
Well, there is an old saying that there are no atheists in foxholes, especially when artillery's coming in. And I want to know, how has the experience affected your faith and you personally?
Um, I've had a very, very difficult life, some would say. And I mean, just in the last 5 years, I almost died twice in labor. My daughter came early and almost died in the NICU. My husband was diagnosed with cancer, and we spent almost a year in the hospital. I mean, but through it all, people always, I heard the saying, if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. But I don't see it that way. Each one of those times, God saw me through it. Things that should have taken me, should have taken my daughter, should have taken my husband, didn't. And it's a story of hope. And this is just one more example of that. Was it extremely difficult to understand how this could happen? Yeah. And especially in the middle of it, it was kind of like, here we go again. But I could hear bullets flying past me. My best friend could hear the same thing, and yet neither one of us got hit. We didn't get injured. We were a few of the lucky ones. And my faith is that much stronger. God has a reason and a purpose for everything, and I'm hoping that my purpose is to help spread his love as opposed to spreading the hate and the fear.
And I think you're doing that today just by sharing your story. And also, you have 4 wonderful children uh,
Beautiful
that need you.
children.
Yeah. Sheri Sletten, our prayers are with you and with
Thank
the
you.
injured and with the families of the victims of this tragic mass shooting. We pray there will
Thank you
not
guys
be
so
another
much.
one like it, and we thank you for your strength, and may God be with you and all the others. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.